Dallas Cowboys at Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. The stadium sold out as always. Pat Summerall here with John Madden. And John, all has been said about that can be said about the return of Michael Irvin. And my question to you is, does this make the Dallas Cowboys a better football team?
Yeah, I think it's going to help make them a better football team. But as Troy Aikman told us yesterday, that this offense isn't just a passing offense, this Cowboy offense. It's a balanced offense, and they have to be able to run the ball. Emmitt Smith has to get back to being Emmitt Smith, and they can talk all they want to about Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith, but I think that this offense is really concerned with the offensive line. If the offensive line does well, then they're going to have a good offense. But then you talk about offense, they have something to worry about in this Cardinal offense,
they
because that's not bad at all. You know, LaShawn Johnson is one of the hottest running backs in football, and he gained over 300 yards in the last 2 games. He's averaging like 9.6 a carry. And then the other back with him there is Larry Centers, who caught over 100 passes last year, more than any running back in the history of the game. So they have concerns on defense, too.
They've won 2 in a row, the Cardinals, and they have a new quarterback in Kent Graham. Coming up, it's the Arizona Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys from Texas Stadium. And John and I'll be back with the opening kickoff when Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages from your local station. The Cardinals will receive. The Cowboys will kick off. Dallas leads the series 44-22-1. Dallas has won 11 in a row as Chris Bonio gets set to kick off to Marcus Dowdell and Leland McElroy, number 30. Their top draft choice from Texas A&M. McElroy will handle it. He's got some moves and he's got some speed. He gets out to about the 28, taken down by Darren Woodson and Jim Swants. Here's the Cardinal offensive lineup, led by the quarterback Kent Graham, who is huge, 6'5" and 240. Lomas Brown, the veteran, Duval Love, Devlin, Redmond, and Joe Wolf. The offensive line. LaShawn Johnson coming off 2 hot games. Larry Centers, Moore, Sanders wide. Pat Carter, the ex-Ram, is the tight end. Kent Graham is a big guy, and he's played very well the last 2 weeks. That's LaShawn Johnson. Hit right at the line of scrimmage, knocked backwards. Brock Marion and Fred Strickland. Tony Tolbert, Chad Hennings, Leon Lett, and Irvin McCormick. The front 4, Darren Smith, Fred Strickland, and Broderick Thomas. Open at linebacker. The secondary, Sanders and Kevin Smith. The corners, Brock Marion and Darren Woodson, the safety.
You know, Deion Sanders doesn't even get into the defensive huddle, Pat. In fact, they're using a coverage with him. It's just called plant coverage. He just takes his man, and the other guys take the other 10.
As he says, why do I need to go in the huddle? Graham hits Centers. Picked up about 6. Broderick Thomas made the stop. Larry Centers in a little exchange with Broderick at the end of that play.
And here's that clamp coverage. You just get out there man to man. He's on Frank Sanders. He just gets up there and jams him. And in fact, Kent Graham told us last night, he said, we aren't going to go towards Deion tomorrow.
We're inclined to stay away from him.
He said, I'd like to, but the coaches say, let's just stay away from Deion today.
4 wide receivers. Graham in the shotgun. Centers back there with it. Graham outside, caught by Sanders. That should be enough for a first down. Darren Woodson made the tackle.
Now, you were talking about how Kent Graham, how big he is. I mean, he's a guy that I remember one day that the tackles in this league used to be that size, 6'5", 245 pounds. But what I've noticed about him, and we've seen him when he was with the Giants, and then when he was with the Detroit Lions, and now he's a lot more confident. I mean, just the way he carries himself, he's a different guy.
He talks in a much more confident manner, much more assured. Graham the fake. Pass bobbled and knocked around. Incomplete, I believe, or maybe they came down with it. They did come down with it.
I'll tell you, Rob Moore caught it, but LaShawn Johnson really saved that play because it was about ready to be intercepted. But watch 32. LaShawn Johnson, as the ball is tipped there, watch the Cowboys ready to catch it. Boom! LaShawn Johnson comes up and he hits Fred Strickland, and that bounces out of Fred Strickland's hand into Rob Moore's.
First down at midfield.
How would you score that in baseball?
A ricochet. That's LaShawn Johnson. And he is hit and hit sturdily, I think is the way to put it.
Yeah, everyone tells us about LaShawn Johnson that he hits that hole quickly, and he really does. And they ran it right at Leon Lett. Let's watch Leon Lett here and see what happens to him. They're running the ball right at him. They didn't block him. You see what they did is they let him go, and then they brought Larry Centers in, who's the fullback, and Larry Centers came in and trapped Leon Lett. He didn't even see him.
They cut him pretty well. Here's Graham. Draw play to LaShawn Johnson, and he's hit before he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Irvin McCormick.
One thing we say about LaShawn Johnson, and you can see these last two games before this one, 33 rushes, and he's averaged over 9 yards a carry, but the Cowboys are waiting for him there today.
He hasn't gotten underway yet.
But, you know, he's getting underway, but he's getting underway. He's going right into a wall.
Heading in the other direction rather quickly. 3rd and 11. 3 wide receivers for the Cardinals. Larry Centers behind Graham. Graham semi-roll right. Going to take off with it. Does not get a first down. Gets into Cowboy territory before he's tripped up by Leon Lett and Broderick Thomas.
Well, that wasn't a bad drive for the Cardinals because they did get the ball out past midfield, and now they're going to be able to punt the ball. And unless there's a good return here, and this hasn't been a strong area of the Cardinals, this punt coverage, but unless
putting it mildly,
yeah, right. Unless they get a good return, they shouldn't get any return in this situation. Then the Cowboys won't start off in good field position.
Jeff Beagles back to punt. The Cowboys had the rush going. This is a good kick by Beagles. Ball bounces toward the end zone, and they're going to down it about the 1-foot line. And the Cowboys are going to start off deep in their own territory. They've got a long way to go. A 55-yard punt.
You by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. By Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. By the NASDAQ stock market. Visit www.nasdaq.com. And by Pizza Hut. Now, we've got your pizza.
There was a trusting soul giving that tiger milk with his hand. His tiger's name is Rakan, by the way, and he weighs 420 pounds. 420.
He was more interested in the milk than he was the hand at that point.
Maybe later. Aikman back to throw out of the end zone on first down. Incomplete, intended for Irvin. Broken up by Enos Williams. Here's the Cowboy offense, led, of course, by Troy Aikman. And the veteran big offensive line. Tuinei and Williams the tackles. Newton and Larry Allen the guards. And Donaldson the center. Emmett Smith, Darrell Johnson the 2 runners. Sanders, Irvin, and Bjornson the receiver. 2nd and 10. 2 tight ends. Hand off Emmett Smith to about the 4.5. Michael Bankston made the stop. They're working on Leon Lett, who was hit by Centers. Here's the Cardinal defense. Rice, Wilson, Swan, and Bankston, who just made that stop. The linebackers, Jameer Miller, Eric Hill in the middle, and Seth Joyner. And the secondary, Bradford, Alexander, Matt Darby, and Enos Williams, who broke up that first down pass to Irvin.
And Aeneas Williams is going to be on Michael Irvin most of the day.
Aikman back in the end zone. Has some time. Pass incomplete, intended again for Irvin.
You know, one of the things we talked to Aeneas Williams last night, and he says one of the things that he figures that when you get up on Michael Irvin that you have to be physical with him. He said not only right there in that first punch, he said throw him off there and then try and get another push in there, because the Cowboys are a rhythm team. And he said one thing, everyone knows you have to knock Troy Aikman out of his rhythm. He said, but you also have to knock their receivers out of their rhythm. And Aeneas Williams did it on that play.
John Jett standing at the back of the end zone. The Cardinals are trying to set up a return. Marcus Dowdell was deep. On the ground, Dowdell gets to about the 43-yard line of Dallas. Good coverage. Good hard coverage hit by Jim Swan.
I'll tell you, that was a heck of a collision with Schwantz. Dowdell and Schwantz.
No score, first quarter. Arizona and Dallas, as you look at Leon Lett, who was hit by Larry Centers in the right knee. And they worked on it during the exchange, and Lett's not back. That's LeSean Johnson. Stopped by Darren Smith.
And of all the players the Cowboys need, I think Leon Lett is probably their best. Now watch, here's Leon Lett, here's Larry Centers. Now he doesn't get blocked, and Centers comes in and gets that knee. Now once you don't get blocked as a defensive tackle, you know you're going to get trapped, but boom, you don't expect it by the back. Watch this, here he comes, he's free, and then Larry Centers comes in, and boom, he puts that helmet right on that right knee.
And you expect that pressure from the other direction. Here's Ken Graham back to throw, trying to set up a screen, does to Larry Centers, but he should not have. Darren Smith, who is really playing well.
And Darren Smith is the guy that is going to be on Larry Centers, because we know that Larry Centers is a top receiver. You know that they're going to try and get the ball to Larry Centers as a receiver. Here's the screen. You see he gets in, he lets the screen develop. Darren Smith read that thing the whole way, split the blockers before they even got set up.
Third and long. 15 they need for a first down. Graham. It's Carter on the move. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up pretty well. Graham low on the hop. Intended for Sanders. Graham didn't get all on it he wanted. Marion got it on the bounce.
Now in that last defense, Pat, the Cowboys were in something they don't use a lot of, just a three-man line. Remember we saw Leon Lett, it looked like he was coming back in, but then they called a three-man line. See, just a three-man rush, and then that gives them 8 men in defense. And of course they try and throw the ball to Frank Sanders, and Frank Sanders had like 5 guys on him in that zone.
So the Cardinals have to punt. Another high kick by Biggles. Kelvin Martin signaled for the fair catch, and the Cowboys have a little bit more room this time than they did on their first possession. 31-yard punt. The Cowboys take over. Summerall, John Madden back at Texas Stadium. No score. Arizona and Dallas. The Cowboys have the ball at their own 17. Don't forget, next Sunday at noon Eastern Time, Terry Bradshaw's football quiz. Look, Terry's got a new hat. Has he got the tassel on the right side?
I don't know.
Darrell Johnston blocks for Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt doesn't get back just to the line of scrimmage, stopped by Eric Swan.
You know, we talk about Leon Lett, you know, and what he means to the Cowboys. Well, Eric Swan is that kind of guy with the Cardinals. You know, maybe one of the best defensive tackles in all of football. And you see, Ray Donaldson is trying to block back on him.
Too quick.
But he's too quick. Yeah. I mean, he just shot that guy, whack, you know, and he was through there. And he's one of those guys that maybe you better get a guy on man first if you're going to run.
One of those chip blocks or something. That was Bjornsson on the move. Here's Aikman. Outside to Irvin. I beg your pardon. This is Deion Sanders. Right now for a McDonald's game break. Let's return to James Brown at our Hollywood studio.
Pat, not the way the Panthers drew it up. Kerry Collins drops the snap but picks it up on the run here. Finds his favorite target, tight end Wesley Walls. Walls' 4th TD reception of the season. Panthers on top, 7-0 over the Rams. Back to Pat and John.
And back at Texas Stadium, it's 3rd and 1.
This is where the Cowboys have to start establishing that they can control the line of scrimmage.
Emmitt Smith behind Aikman. Aikman's going to throw, gets it out to Emmitt Smith, and he'll get a first down. Seth Joyner on the coverage. When he was with the Eagles, Seth Joyner, he was a guy the Cowboys and most other teams feared greatly.
Yeah, they have a good set of linebackers here. You know, Seth Joyner's been playing well in this league for a long time, and Eric Hill, that middle linebacker, is quietly one of the top linebackers in this league. I mean, he makes plays all over the field.
And Jameer Miller is the other. He's also a good big linebacker. Here's Aikman back to throw. Michael Irvin, his first catch since he came back, is good for the first down.
Well, we know that he's going to start looking for Michael Irvin. We know that he was going to throw the ball a lot and throw the ball early, try and get it to Michael Irvin. This is the third pass he's thrown to him, and the first one that they've connected with.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, did they block Eric Swan on that play?
And a perfect pass.
It was a perfect pass, but I'll tell you, he had great pass protection. They knocked Swan backwards.
That's where it all begins.
That's where it all begins.
Emmitt Smith. 4 about 4. Jameer Miller tripped up Emmitt.
Yeah, I always thought that Larry Allen. Watch Larry Allen here, and right there is Eric Swan. Watch the job on pass protection. Boom, he gets a little help here, and then whap, look at that whap, and then another whap. Then Moose Johnston finally gets it, but they knew one guy wasn't going to get in there. It was number 98, and that's why Troy Aikman could stand back there, look to Michael Irvin, take that step, and zip that ball out there to the right.
The old triple team.
And they know who they have to block on this defensive line.
Emmitt Smith again. Emmitt gets to midfield. It'll bring up 3rd and 5. Jameer Miller again on the stop.
You know, when I was at Cowboy practice on Friday, I was just watching Emmitt Smith run around him. It was the first time that he looked like he didn't hurt all over. I mean, we saw him in training camp, we saw him in the preseason and regular season, and he hasn't had the same numbers. And in fact, if you look at his numbers, he really hasn't done a lot. I mean, he's not Emmitt Smith.
Not yet.
Not yet. But he looked in Friday's practice. He looked a little more like he was getting back to being Emmitt Smith.
Herschel Walker in motion. Flag on the play. Daryl Johnston leaned before the ball was snapped.
Yeah, that's causing the Cowboys a lot of problems. They want to move people around in formations, and Moose Johnston was up as a wing.
12 start, 48 offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And sometimes you put a guy in a foreign position and he does stupid things. And that's what Moose does. See, here's Moose Johnston right here. Here goes the motion with Herschel beyond him. See, so instead of a fullback position, he's up there in the wing. You see him get that little Moose lean? Once he got that, whoop, out comes the flag.
3rd down.
3rd down 9.
About 9. 3rd and 8, call it. Aikman back to throw. Has time again. Goes deep for Dion. Incomplete. Hit by 2 Cardinal defenders. Ronnie Bradford was there first, and Lassiter came over to hit Dion after it was over.
I think that now with Michael Irvin back, that they're going to try and take Deion Sanders to be like Alvin Harper was. That they're going to do that control, those deep in things to Michael Irvin, then try and get those ups and posts, the deep patterns, to Deion Sanders.
John Jett back to punt for Dallas. Marcus Dowdell deep for the Cardinals. Jett's kick, not all he wanted it to be. Dowdell out of the pack up to about the 26. Stopped by Daryl Johnston. 39-yard punt, 12-yard return. Leon Lett returns on defense, but still limping just a bit. Back at Texas Stadium, no score yet. Pat Summerall, John Madden, Mike Devlin, the regular center for the Cardinals, headed up the tunnel back to the locker room. That's LeSean Johnson. Yeah, you said before he gets there in a hurry, but he comes out of there in a hurry too.
Well, yeah, and the bad news is if there's not a hole there, then it's like running into a wall.
Yeah.
And the good news is if they can get a crease or any kind of crack in there for him, then he's going to be okay. But they know. We showed how they blocked Eric Swan on the other side. You can always tell who the guy they're worried is because they always have like 2 or 3 guys blocking him.
Incomplete high, intended for Moore. And Moore is a big receiver. Both the Cardinal receivers are tall.
Yeah, they're big 6'3" guys, and and they are big targets. And one thing I think just watching Kent Graham, he hasn't played a lot of football. I mean, he didn't start a lot of games in college and hasn't started a lot in the pro. So I think within a game he has to get warmed up because he's really, get some kind of groove going because he's really not an accurate passer by nature.
3rd and 8. Centers. Takes to the right snap. Flag on the play. Centers did not get the first down. The flag is going to be against the Cardinals. Cowboys have to make a decision. That was back in the area of holding, so do they want the 10 yards, the penalty, or do they want them to punt?
I think they're going to take them to punt.
Holding. Yeah. Offense number 67. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Larry Nimmers is the referee. This is an interesting thing. They're going to snap it to Larry Centers. Watch what number 11 Kent Graham does. He makes a big fake like the ball went over his head. And then that's supposed to open up the pass rush for the draw, but it didn't work.
Jeff Beagle. High kick. Back at the 20 by Kelvin Martin. Martin to the 40. Knocked out of bounds there. 47-yard punt. 21-yard return. Ronald McKinnon knocked him out of bounds. Don't forget, 2 more games coming up today on Fox. We're 0-0, and after we're through, the Eagles against the Giants and the Lions with their explosive offense go to Oakland to play the Raiders.
You talk about that Central Division and the Green Bay Packers, and we all know that, but the Lions are off to a pretty good start, and you always expect them to have a good end. If they can get off to a good start, they may be something there.
They're 3-2. They have a lot of weapons. This is Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith gets 4 yards.
Got 4 up to the 45.
Now that's what we were talking about earlier about the Cowboys, and we talk about Michael Irvin's coming back, and you got Dion out there and throwing the ball, but they don't like to do that. I mean, their team is really built around Emmitt Smith being able to run the ball and that offensive line being able to knock the defensive line backwards, and they haven't been doing that today so far, and they haven't been doing it all year.
Here's Jay Novacek. Don't forget about him. Another very important part of that offense. Aikman ran into Darrell Johnston. Moose and Troy had a collision.
Sometimes they look like we talk about the Cowboys, their offense hasn't gotten in sync yet, and that play there just looks like they hadn't gotten in sync.
Kevin Williams will be back, assuming his injury heals later this year. Haley, and you don't know about him with a bad back. Novacek with a bad back, you don't know. Shante Carver will be back the next game. 3rd and 4. Aikman back to throw it. Pass is deflected by Eric Swan, I believe, got a hand on it, and Aikman was hit hard just as he let it go by a blitzing Aeneas Williams.
By Aeneas Williams, and you're going to see Aeneas Williams is just going to come free. You see him sneak up, and he's right there. He doesn't get blocked. Now, this has happened to the Cowboys. I watched the Eagle game, and that happened to Troy Aikman all the time. They were always getting a guy blitzing, always had a guy free, knocking him down just as he threw the ball or right after he threw the ball. That time it was Aeneas Williams.
Jet back to punt. Marcus Dowdell deep for Arizona. This is a good kick by Jet. Dowdell signals fair catch, makes it just inside the Arizona 15. Both teams a lot of 3 and outs.
I know it, and I think really that we're seeing this not only in this game but in all football, where the defense is ahead of the offense now, and I think it's because of that play we just saw where they're going zone blitzes. They're not only, you know, in the old days it used to be when you'd blitz a linebacker, but now they blitz linebackers, they blitz safeties. On that play we saw their top cover corner, Aeneas Williams, coming on a blitz.
First down, Arizona at their own 15. Kent Graham, the quarterback. Carter was the man in motion. Graham still has the ball, going deep. Incomplete. Frank Sanders, the intended receiver, covered by Brock Marion and Kevin Smith. And Sanders looked like the defensive back knocking the ball down.
Yeah, because Kevin Smith was with him man-to-man, and Kevin Smith had better position on the ball than Frank Sanders does. But you see right there, you see, here's Kevin Smith here, and he's really in better position. He's in a position to catch or intercept that ball. Frank Sanders reached up over and knocked it out of Kevin Smith's hands.
2nd and 10. Kent Graham changing the play. Larry Centers, the lone setback. Here comes the Cowboy rush. The pass is completed to Frank Sanders. Sanders dived to get the first down. I believe he got it.
Kent Graham did a good job on that blitz of getting that ball out of there, because that's the thing that you have to do when you do get a rush and you do get a blitz. You see the blitz coming up the middle, you're going to get him picked up, but you can't hold that ball for a long time. And he came back, didn't look at that blitz, didn't put his head down, and just zipped it out there to Frank Sanders.
End of the quarter, a first down for the Cardinals. No score as yet. At Summerall and John Madden at Texas Stadium. 0-0. Texas Stadium, no score. Don't forget tonight here on Fox, the Braves and the Cardinals. I know the Cardinals have surprised a lot of people, but not John Madden, because he's a good friend of Rudy LaRussa.
Well, I always thought that, you know, and I said this a week ago, that if you put all the coaches in all sports together, you know, football, baseball, basketball, that Tony LaRussa would be one of the best coaches in any sport. I think that as a manager, he is brilliant, and I think that, you know, a lot of what the Cardinals have done have been because of Tony LaRussa.
Here's Kent Graham back to throw. Incomplete. Intended for Moore this time.
Well, either we have a not very good offense here today, Pat, or we have great defense. Arizona has 38 yards of offense, and Dallas has 43 yards of offense, and neither one is able to get any first downs or get anything going. And you can see what Kent Graham is complaining about right here. He's complaining about Darren Woodson. He's saying, you know, you can hit him up to 5 yards, but not after 5 yards.
Sharon Johnson out to the 30. Let's go to the Fox Television Center for a McDonald's game break.
Pat, rookie quarterback Tony Banks has problems protecting the ball in the pocket. Here he fumbles for the 9th time in the 3rd game of his young season. Kevin Green, linebacker, picks it up, heads 66 yards for his 2nd career TD. Pat, look at his style points on the score. 14-0 Carolina over St. Louis. Back to Pat and John.
Kevin Smith, who was shaken up a bit earlier. 4 wide receivers this time for Arizona. Incomplete. Marcus Dowdell, the intended receiver, can't hang on. Here's the previous play.
Yeah, watch LaShawn Johnson here. We know that he runs hard, and he brings a pretty big load at the end of that run, and that was number 26, Kevin Smith, there, that went out after that play.
Here's Fiegels back to punt again. This is the 7th punt of the game already.
That's what I said. This is either bad offense or good defense. I think it's a little dose of bad offense, because neither one of these offenses are in sync.
It's another good kick. Signal for fair catch by Kelvin Martin. And the Cowboys will take over back at their own 20-yard line. 0-0 score.
Planet. 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. And by the United States Marine Corps. The change is forever.
The Texas State Fair going on over at the fairgrounds by the Cotton Bowl. We're back at Texas Stadium. No scores yet. Aikman back to throw it. Deion Sanders made the catch. Ronnie Bradford made the stop. Dallas' first 3 possessions have not been very productive.
Well, I think, we talked about that earlier. Just the fact that Michael Irvin came back isn't going to take care of all the woes of this offense. This offense still isn't in sync. And here Deion Sanders just runs a hook away from the side of Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin split left. Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt to the 35. Best looking run he's made today. Bernard Wilson made the stop.
See, and he's just going to run in here. See, they just get them in. These are the types of things that they have to do. They have to just start pounding. See, boom, get big Nate Newton on that guy. Just start getting his guy going back. 2-8 gets his guy to the outside, and then just get Emmitt Smith in behind. That's Dallas Cowboy football.
6-yard gain. Again, it's Emmitt. Same hole, same place. Emmitt Smith across midfield.
Yeah, good block there by Nate Newton, because he not only got into his guy, Pat, but he got him turned. Here's what you have to do. You have to get, here's Nate. Now, he's going to block man, and then he gets his body here so that the ball can come right inside. But watch Nate Newton. You see, he hits into his guy and then turns it. Boom, he gets him turned. Good lead block by Moose Johnston, and then Emmitt Smith is right in behind it. Now, those last 2 plays are the Cowboys that we've known.
That's Emmitt Smith's longest run of the year. Here's Aikman back to throw it. Going deep to Irvin. And another Dallas first down. Deion Sanders on the opposite side of the field is down and hurt.
They were talking about moving Michael Irvin around. They're not just going to keep him out here at the right end. They're going to move him to the left end, to the right end, to both sides. And looks like whatever happened to Deion Sanders, he wasn't bumped or hit or anything. And I think a lot of that could just be either a cramp or a pull caused by fatigue. Here's the catch now. You see Michael Irvin just running that comeback, making it a little deeper.
Sherman Williams giving Emmitt Smith a breather. Stopped by Michael Bankston for very little gain. There's Deion Sanders.
Well, Deion plays so many plays. I mean, so far this season, he's played about 80% of the offensive and 80% of the defensive plays. And I think that sometimes you look at that, 81% of the offensive plays, 79% of the defensive plays. And he's been maybe even playing a little more than that today. And you just wonder if he doesn't dehydrate a little sometime.
Here comes Herschel Walker in motion. And Aikman back to throw. Fires up the middle as the pressure was on. Darrell Johnston, the intended receiver, but Aikman had to throw in a hurry.
I'll tell you what, Seth Joyner, he starts here, and he looks like he's running free right up the middle at Troy Aikman. And you wonder how he doesn't get him. You see him come free right there, and he's running right at him. I think Troy Aikman saw that too and said, I better get rid of it. Seth Joyner looked like he threw a punch in air.
You know, it used to be if somebody got to the quarterback, it was because somebody just flat missed a block or gotten beaten. Now they're just running free.
Yeah, and it's because of scheme. They're getting overloads.
Here's Aikman again back to throw. To Eric Johnston.
Ooh, and I'll tell you
that was close to a fumble.
Yeah, and that could be close to a knee for Troy Aikman, because Simeon Rice, the rookie, comes from the backside. Now watch, he's going to come from the backside here, and he comes around here and he hits Troy Aikman after he throws the ball. Simeon Rice is a speed rusher. Watch now, Troy Aikman throws the ball. Now watch Simeon Rice right there. I mean, Troy Aikman's lucky that he didn't get a knee, that his feet weren't in the ground. And you see how when he got hit, both feet were just pushed out of there.
Anthony Edwards is back deep this time for Arizona. Jets punt straight up almost. Down inside the 5 by Billy Davis, who caught the ball in the air. There's Deion Sanders. It's a problem with his left ankle. Sprained when he made that move. Nobody hit him. It's being retaped. No scores yet. Back at Texas Stadium, the Cardinals have their ball at their own 3-yard line. No score. The Arizona first 4 possessions no better than the Cowboys.
And this is where you're always thinking turnover. If you're thinking Dallas, you want to get the turnover. If you're Cardinals, then you want to not give a turnover. You want to be very solid down here.
LaShawn Johnson. Maybe he got a yard before he went back in the other direction.
I tell you, he's not getting a lot of yards before they knock him back in the other direction. You know, he used to have eye problems, and he had eye surgery, so he sees better now. But they say that he used to just run like this and just run right into the back of his offensive lineman, and now at least he's picking white jerseys.
LaShawn Johnson coming out.
Yeah, I mean, he's been going in and coming out all day. 7 carries, only 11 yards. Cowboys have been knocking him back where he came from the whole game.
Leo McElroy. Graham pumped. Moore made the catch. Got him out of the hole. Kent Graham's excited.
I know, and Tony Tolbert was all over Kent Graham. I mean, he threw this ball. This is an amazing throw that he throws here to Rob Moore. Rob Moore does a little stop and go. See, and he got Kevin Smith. And then that throw, I don't know that both feet were inbound. I don't know that either foot was inbound. But once he hit, Tony Tolbert hits him just as he throws that ball. And I don't know that Rob Moore was in. And now he has the ball. I don't know. That's awfully close.
All right, now let's again return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Pat, little trickery employed by first-place Washington on the reverse to Leslie Shepard, taking advantage of his speed, some nifty footwork as he takes it 32 yards for the score. Washington's on top by the score of 10-6 in the second. Back to Pat and John Madden.
Cedric Smith and Larry Centers are the 2 backs now. On second down, this is Centers. Centers picked his way for 2 or 3. That might be the Cardinals' long run of the day.
Yeah, that was a heck of a throw by Kent Graham again, that big one to Rob Moore. That was a good move by Rob Moore, the little stop and go, and they got Kevin Smith to come up. But watch that throw. Tony Tolbert was there and hits him just as he throws the ball. Rob Moore catches the ball, and I still don't know if he had both feet in or not.
It was very close. And I don't know either. 3rd and 1. Centers. Got the first. With a little stretch at the end. Larry Centers is a guy we were talking about. We did the Bears and the Packers last week about how much Brett Favre enjoyed playing. Larry Centers is a guy who likes to play the game.
Yeah, and he was saying this week, he was talking to the media, and he said he's going to have a humongous game. So they've been calling him Hugo all week. He said Boomer Esiason called him that. He said humongous. This is a humongous game. I'm going to have a humongous game. So his nickname is now Hugo.
Here's a strange formation now for the Cardinals. Sanders, the intended receiver. The ball went straight up in the air. They had 3 receivers to the right. And the setback, the running back, LaShawn Johnson out to the left.
Here's LaShawn Johnson, and they wanted Deion Sanders to stay with them. They got that. Then they can have their 3 wide receivers over on that side. This is a formation they're going to use quite a bit of today, especially if they can get that. But you say why the ball went straight up in the air. Watch Leon left. Boom, he hits Kent Graham just as he throws that, and that'll cause the ball to look like it's the last shot out of a Roman candle.
LaShawn Johnson picked up 2 or 3.
Let's look at this formation again. We'll just draw it up. See, they put a running back out here, hoping to get Deion Sanders to cover out here, which they did. then they can put their 3 receivers, their tight end and both wide receivers here, and all the Cowboys will have is 1 corner and a safety and have to deal out here with a linebacker. So if they can get this, especially Deion Sanders, to play over there against the running back away from their wide receivers, they're going to use this formation a lot today.
This time they have 4 wide receivers, 2 to the right and 2 to the left. Graham by Moore, who was wide open in front of the Dallas bench. Only red jersey over there.
And again, you see Moore as the outside receiver. In fact, he just looked like he was loafing or whatever he was doing. He just kind of jogged up and just stayed right there in the sideline. But yeah, they're going to always pass protect. They have 3 guys watching Leon Lett. They're not going to let Leon Lett get to Kent Graham again.
1st and 10. Centers gets the carry and gets a couple.
I don't know what that pattern that Rob Moore was running out there. I mean, he was just kind of jogging like he was in the park, taking a walk in the park, and then Kent Graham looked and boom, hit him out there for a 1st down.
They probably said he's not going to do anything. Let him go.
You know, it's unbelievable. You can practice, you can diagram, you can have playbooks. This guy goes in 12 yards, hit with your right foot, take your left, do all this stuff, and some guy just wanders out there and gets a 1st down.
This is the 10th play of this drive coming up for Arizona. On 2nd down, Graham fires incomplete. It's headed for Moore. Almost intercepted. Almost complete.
Yeah, I don't know that they know that Deion Sanders isn't in there, so they're still working over here on Kevin Smith, and that's no great deal if Deion Sanders isn't on the other side, because Kevin Smith is a good corner.
Yes, he is, and playing very well.
And Deion Sanders is back in now. I think one thing that the Cardinals and Kent Graham told us last night is that they're going to stay away from Deion Sanders for the most part today. I think you got to test him every once in a while, though.
Here's Graham. Again the ricochet. And again complete. Sanders. And Dell in the area.
This game is unbelievable, the things that they do. I mean the passes and the and the patterns and the balls going incomplete and ricochet and missing interceptions and just getting the ball knocked down. Now maybe this is why they aren't going to throw to Deion Sanders.
The clamp.
Yeah, that's the old clamp. I mean, he just clamps him with both hands.
Sanders back deep to return the punt this time. Figo gets it off high, and Sanders signals fair catch and makes it at the 15. Again, he limps after he made the catch. Sort of hopped around on one leg. Changes helmets as he does from offense to defense. No score. 0-0 the score. There's a guy who could put some heat on the passer, and whoever had the ball, Joe Green.
Yeah, dude, I remember coaching Oakland and playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, all those games, and you talk about guys you had to block if you were going to do anything. I'll guarantee you Joe Green was one of those guys.
Here's Aikman back to throw it. Drops it out to Emmett. Emmett Smith taken down in the 20, at the 20. Our Aflac trivia question for today: which franchise has gone the longest without an NFL championship? And it's an old franchise. Which franchise has gone the longest without a championship?
And I'll give one more clue. You played for that franchise.
But not that team. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Emmitt Smith. What I'm saying is the answer to that question, I wasn't on that team. I was after that. Which franchise has gone the longest with an NFL without an NFL championship? The Chicago Cardinals. Now, you're right. I did play for the Chicago Cardinals, but not when they won the title in 1947.
Right. A lot of people don't even remember that the Cardinals were in Chicago. Then they moved to St. Louis. A lot of them remember them as St. Louis Cardinals before they moved to Arizona.
Played in Comiskey Park. Aikman back to throw on first down. Throws high. Incomplete. Oh, the Cardinals thought they had intercepted it. Aikman down again.
I'll tell you one thing about Troy Aikman. He has taken way too many hits in these last 3 or 4 games. And this is what the Eagles did to him, and this is what the Cardinals are doing. They're always getting a stunt, and the stunt is always breaking a guy free, either a stunt or a blitz. That time it was Simeon Rice, and he came on a stunt. He came from the outside inside, went right by Nate Newton, and hit Troy Aikman just as he threw the ball. And that's happening way, way too much to Aikman this year.
6 out of 13. Aikman gives to Smith. And Emmett almost broke it for the first down. Somebody collared him. Seth Joyner.
You know, that's where they had the stunt, and that's where you usually run. I mean, you're going to run at a rookie anyway. Here's a rookie, Simeon Rice. Here's where they had the stunt last time. So they bring the ball to Emmitt Smith, or right back to the side that they got the pressure from. In fact, it's right into a blitz. They picked up the blitz, Moose Johnston does, and makes a heck of a hole for Emmitt Smith.
3rd and about a yard.
You know, to me, that's still the unsung guy of this offense is Moose Johnston.
Oh, yeah. Emmitt Smith over the left side gets the first down.
I don't know that Emmitt Smith has run to the right side yet.
Not yet.
I think, you know, part of it is that's where they're getting their pressure from. Part of it is, you know, Nate Newton and Tuanay. And then the other part of it is the rookie defensive right end, Simeon Rice. You know, Simeon Rice was a linebacker in college, and he's kind of a, you know, an undersized defensive lineman. And I think the teams feel that they can run at him. Simeon Rice doesn't feel that they can run at him. He welcomes them to come.
Very quick. Sherman Williams is the deep back. Aikman back to throw. Off the hands of Bjornsson. Incomplete.
Now they just can't get anything going. You know, I mean, I think this was proven, and that, you know, just the fact that they get Michael Irvin back, that doesn't make them the Cowboys of last year. And they may become. I mean, you know, in the middle of the season, towards the end of the season, they may. But just a guy coming off suspension, not having played in 5 weeks, and coming back doesn't put him back in sync. And that's the thing that Ernie Zampese is worried about. He wants to get him in sync, and he wants to get him in balance. And right now, to be honest, they don't have either.
On 3rd down, Aikman to throw again, fakes the screen pass, finally throws it away because the Cardinals had read it pretty well.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. See, they're doing everything that Simeon Rice that we talked about, you know, is one, you're going to run at him, then you're going to run draws at him, then you're going to try and throw screen passes to his side. But he picked it up. I mean, he saw that screen pass and came off. That's a heck of a play by Simeon Rice. But remember, he was a linebacker. He's used to reading things like that. Linebacker at the University of Illinois.
A very confident young man.
He's a good player.
Yeah. 3 wide receivers for the Cowboys this time. Aikman back to throw. Gets it up the middle to Kelvin Martin. Martin gets into Cardinal territory, stopped by Lassiter, but that's their longest gain of the day.
And they caught him. They had good pass protection here. Watch what Simeon Rice does. He goes into the middle now. He gets there as a linebacker. They call this the Cobra. And he's just going to come straight up the middle on the pass rush. You see, but he lines up as a middle linebacker, and he just got there a little late. And I tell you, Troy Aikman saw Kelvin Martin the whole way, hit him under control right in the middle.
We get the 2-minute warning. Still no score. Arizona nothing, Dallas nothing. 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Look at Barry Switzer yesterday. He had a head cold. He got a flu shot this week and got the flu. He could hardly talk, and then the whole flu went to his right eye. No, his left eye. He said, but he can still coach with one eye. But the flu went to his eye.
Here's Aikman. Screen pass coming in. This one's to Moose Johnston. And the Moose is not going very far.
Yeah, we saw one earlier where Simeon Rice read. At that time, it was Bernard Wilson. You know, now sometimes you'll have the tackle. See, here's Bernard Wilson here, and he's kind of a spy. You see, he's going to play here, and he's watching. He starts to rush, and then he pulls off, and he reads screen right away. So when Moose Johnston catches that ball, Bernard Wilson was right out there with him. Then what you do is you form a triangle around it, and that was perfect screen coverage by the Cardinals.
2nd and 11. Play number 10 of this drive coming up. Aikman. Outside to Michael Irvin. That's enough for the first.
Well, you know, Aeneas Williams showed how you can play Michael Irvin by being physical with him. Then on that play, he showed how you don't play him by playing off of him.
A Dallas timeout. .13 left in the first half. No score. It's the best Dallas drive of the day, their deepest penetration of the day. Gonna have controlled by defense. 1st and 10, Cowboys at the Cardinal 27. Johnston was a man in motion. Aikman back to throw it. Gets it across the middle to Irvin. He's tripped up inside the 20 at about the 18 by Ronnie Bradford.
That's the play that Terry Bradshaw was talking about on the pregame show today, that if you want to run a pattern, one of the best patterns to run against speed is to run a crossing pattern, because you have the whole width of the field and the depth of the field to run away from man coverage. And that time, Michael Irvin ran away from Randy Bradford.
2nd and 1. I don't think Emmitt Smith got the first down. He's close. A timeout called again by Dallas. Don't forget, coming up at the half, the Dockers Khakis halftime. JB and Terry with scores and highlights and a preview of tonight's National League Championship Series game number 4 coming up tonight. And coming up at the half, the Dockers Khakis halftime report.
Now the Cowboys are really having their first drive that they start to look like an offensive team. And, you know, some of the things you talked about with Michael Irvin coming back and, you know, hitting Michael Irvin and some of those, you know, deep ins and hooks or comebacks and running the ball to Emmitt Smith and, you know, some of those kinds of things, and getting the pass protection under control, because before this drive, seemed like every time Troy Aikman went back to throw the ball, he was getting hit and knocked down.
Emmitt Smith on that last carry got a first down, so it's first down Dallas at the 17 with 35 seconds left to play in the first half, and Aikman back to throw it. Has time again. And Deion Sanders comes down with the ball and gets down to about the 5.5-yard line, taken down by Ronnie Bradford. Clock still running.
Deion Sanders really used his body well on this one, because Ronnie Bradford really has pretty good position. I mean, that's not bad defense. Deion Sanders just beats him to the ball. He just snatches it right out of the air.
Aikman stopped the clock with 14 seconds left to play in the first half, and still the Cowboys have one timeout remaining. So if they don't get in, they can stop it for the field goal at least.
Yeah, you always want to save that one timeout for your field goal. I think now here he can take at least one shot into the end zone, maybe even 2 shots into the end zone, especially if they're that quick 3-step drop and throw.
The 15th play of this drive, and Aikman quickly incomplete, deflected.
Yeah, so he can take another one now.
3 seconds is all they use.
Yeah. I mean, if you take that 3-step drop and throw like he did and throw it into the end zone, you really could get 3 plays in there. Of course, the Cardinals know that too. I mean, the Cardinals know that he only has one timeout, and he's going to take that 3-step drop and throw. And that time it was Bankston. Just came in, boom, he just got his hands up. That's about the only thing a defensive end can do against a 3-step drop, is get a little push and get his hands up.
3rd down and goal. Aikman back to throw again. Drops it out Or tried to Emmitt Smith, and it was knocked down this time by Simeon Rice.
Yeah, and that was a bad decision there by Troy Aikman. I mean, I think that ball has to go into the end zone. But here's Simeon Rice. He's played a heck of a first half.
Yes,
this
he
guy.
has.
I mean, he's very active. He has good speed, but he has good awareness. I mean, he smelled out a screen. He saw Troy Aikman. When Troy Aikman goes back, he's rushing. Troy Aikman turns towards him. Boom, those hands go up.
Bonio in to try the field goal to get either team on the scoreboard for the first time. 22 yards away. He hasn't missed this year from this distance. He still hasn't. And the Cowboys take the lead 3-0 with 5 seconds left to play in the first half. Boys 3, Cardinals nothing. 5 seconds left to play in the first half. Jet back to kick off. Marcus Dowdell deep along with Leland McElroy for Arizona.
I'm really impressed with this Cardinal defense. I mean, part of it is we talked about the Cowboys not really being in sync, but another part of it is this Cardinal defense is a very solid team. And I think that's what Vince Tobin brings to this team. He's a solid defensive coach, came over from the Indianapolis Colts, and is building this team around a solid defense.
Jets kickoff, hits McElroy, picked it up at about the 14. Leland McElroy, he can run. Can't run that well. That's the end of the first half as they take McElroy down. That's the end of the first half with the score. Dallas 3, Arizona nothing. James Brown and Terry Bradshaw will be along with the Doctors Khakis halftime report following these messages. Texas Stadium just about over, as a matter of fact. The Cardinals nothing, the Cowboys 3. And John, as you pointed out during the first half, it's either a case of 2 very good defenses or 2 very poor offenses.
Yeah, and I think it's a combination. I think both teams are playing well defensively, and I don't think that either team has gotten into any kind of sync offensively. And I think that everyone got carried away with Michael Irvin coming back, that was going to be the cure-all for the Cowboys, and it's not. I mean, the Cowboys have a lot more offensive problems than just not having Michael Irvin there.
And the Cardinals, you have to give them some credit.
I think so. I think that Buddy Ryan was a defensive coach, but his defense wasn't a solid defense. It was a gambling defense. They bring in Vince Tobin here, and I think he's done an excellent job of giving this Cardinal team now a solid defense. I mean, they do smart things. They get pressure, then they back off, they change up, they stunt, they have young players, older players, and I think the mix-up and the job that they've done defensively in this first half against the Cowboys has been outstanding, and that is a big part of it.
Vince Tobin is just a very solid guy, as well as a very solid coach.
Well, look at the job that he did with the Indianapolis Colts and their defense a year ago.
Going to be handled by Herschel Walker. Walker broke out of 1 tackle, gets it outside the 30 to about the 34-yard line. Good return by Herschel Walker. That was the thing that they feel ignited them in the game against the Eagles 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you look at the halftime stats, and you see that the Cardinals had 94 total yards, and the Cowboys 170. A lot of those were just on that last drive where they got their field goal. But I think the big thing here, and probably the reason, we talked about the offense is not being synced and the defense is playing well. But the other thing, there haven't been any turnovers. And to me, as I watch this game, I think the team that gives the turnovers is the team that's going to lose this game today.
Emmitt Smith. Emmitt trying to pick his way, which is unlike Emmitt. Up for about 4 yards. Emmitt earlier in the first half had a run of 18 yards. You look at Joe Green. 18 yards is his longest run of the year.
Yeah, and then and part of that is Emmitt. I mean, he's been hurt all year. He's had everything from head and neck and shoulder and knee and ankle and ribs, and he's just not running. I mean, as Barry Switzer said yesterday, he just hasn't cut it loose yet this year.
But you ask, and he says, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." Emmitt again. Close to a first down, not quite. Sometimes that can be more injurious for a player to say, I'm fine, I feel good. Is he limping off now?
And you know he's not. I mean,
and you know he's not.
And you know that. I mean, he's a tough guy, and he wants to play, but I think that they're going to start spotting him. I mean, you see, he just got hurt on that last play, and Sherman Williams is going to be in there. But one of the things the Cowboys were going to do, I think the rest of this season anyway, is even when Emmitt Smith is starting to feel well, is get Sherman Williams into the game more, because they're getting some confidence in him.
He's a guy, Emmitt Smith is, who doesn't have to prove how tough he is. Here's Aikman backpedaling outside to Darrell Johnston, and he's got the first down. He's got the ball into Cardinal territory before he's taken down by Matt Darby. It'll be first down, Dallas, at the Cardinal 43.
You know, you talked about Troy Aikman coming out and a backpedaling. That's always a key, that it's going to be to the left. This is a play where Emmitt Smith got hurt. This is a play before, and you just see right there at the end. You have no idea what happens when a guy goes down and he gets twisted at the end, at the bottom of the pile. But, you know, but that used to always be a read when a quarterback would go straight back and backpedal. He was going to throw to the left. Turn out, he was going to throw to the right.
Turned out this time. He's throwing to his right. Pass picked off by Aeneas Williams. He's knocked out of bounds by Michael Irvin inside the 5 at the 3. The Cardinals had the ball.
Yeah, that's the thing, that they were going to throw to Michael Irvin, and they were going to throw to him a lot. But the thing is, you can't force it to him either. See, watch Aeneas Williams here. He started like he was going to bump him, and then he plays off, and then you just see Michael Irvin looked like he thought the ball was going to be to the inside. He was making a move more towards the post, and the ball was thrown over his outside shoulder, and Aeneas Williams was there to get it. But that was good coverage. Aeneas Williams come up, and he faked like he was going to hit him, and then he backed off and just started to run with him. He read the ball. Michael Irvin went out. Aeneas Williams went to the ball.
Keyshawn Johnson.
And the guy they have to stop, and we talked about this all day, is Leon Lett. If you're going to run the ball, you have to get Leon Lett blocked, and Leon Lett got the penetration.
The Cowboys took Deion Sanders out and put Swanson as a cornerback on that last play.
Yeah, watch Leon Lett get there in the backfield. Yeah, they do that on short yardage and goal line, too. They put Swanson as a corner for Deion Sanders.
Sanders was the man in motion. This is LeSean Johnson. And again, one of those change of direction runs for him. And he didn't mean to change direction.
You can tell this defense is fired up, that they really want to get. I mean, LeSean Johnson is just going to take that ball and fire in there, and they know that when he gets right there that he's going to fire in. Whoa. So they're firing on him.
Talk about cut him off at the pass, meet him in the hole. This is the #1 defense in the NFL.
Yeah, talking about bringing your whole load and really unloading your whole load. That's what they're doing to LeSean Johnson.
Third down, LeSean Johnson standing back deep in the end zone. Centers in front of him. Kent Graham, the quarterback, back in the end zone to throw. He gives. No, he didn't. He faked. The Centers makes the catch and gets some breathing room.
Now that was a heck of a throw by Kent Graham. I mean, he's throwing out of his own end zone, and now he gets that ball to Larry Centers. Here's Larry Centers here, and you're just going to see he's going to run a circle, but that's pretty good pass protection. But he threw that. I mean, there was a linebacker coming underneath and a safety coming over, and he really zipped that thing in there. It was shot out of a cannon.
Kent Graham is quite a story, as John Madden was saying earlier. He hasn't played that much. He hasn't started many games at all. His handoff to Johnson again, and there's not much there. He was one of the most highly recruited athletes ever in high school. Here come the flags as Leon Lett got into a shoving match. You'll never want to be the second one in the pile.
No, it looked like Leon Lett gave that shove after something had happened to him.
Yep. I saw the Cardinals motioning in their direction. That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
On the offense, number 74 for unnecessary roughness.
They don't have a 74, so let's listen to the rest of it.
on number 78 of the defense also. The penalty's offset at the spot of the run. Second down.
Leon Lett is number 78, and he had a fight with nobody.
Yeah, and Rob Selby's number 74 is what it is. And you see him, you see Selby gets that push right there, and then he's pushing him, then Leon Lett grabs him, then Selby pushes him, and then Leon Lett hits him again. That was kind of a whole bunch of deal about nothing.
And no penalty. And Graham with some time this time. Right now to the Fox Television Center for a McDonald's game break. Here's James Brown.
The ups and downs of a rookie quarterback. This is an up pat as Tony Banks shows his big arm hitting rookie Eddie Kinnison. Carolina had led 21-0. It's now 28-13. Rams trying to come back. Let's take it back to Dallas. Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Third down, about 9 for the Cardinals. 4 wide receivers. Graham out of the shotgun. Larry Centers back with him. Graham scrambled to his right. Scrambled enough, I believe, to get the first down.
Oh, and another big play by Leon Lett if he doesn't get the first down, or a big play by Kent Graham if he does get the first down. Because Leon Lett hits him. You're going to see Leon Lett gets him right there about 4 yards before the first down. Now his knee is down here, so it's where the ball is when his knee's down is what the spot is. That was a heck of a play and hustle by Leon Lett.
So Kelvin Martin goes back deep for the Cowboys, and Jim Fiegels will punt.
You know, there aren't many defensive tackles in football that weigh 295 pounds that can catch anyone from behind and make a play like Leon Lett just made.
Can't think of another one.
I tell you, and he's been making them. We saw him make them up in Buffalo 3 weeks ago. We saw him against the Philadelphia Eagles. He was the Cowboys' best player, and now he comes up with that play.
To the official spotting the ball, there is no foul.
Delay of the game due to the official spotting the ball. No foul, so this will continue. Leon getting a little rest.
Remember, he got that gash above his right eye there against the Buffalo Bills 3 weeks ago.
Fiegels' kick is a high one. Kelvin Martin at the 28. The coverage by the Cardinals almost broke down, but they finally got Kelvin Martin down. Ronald McKinnon made the stop. So the Cowboys will take over. 3-0 Dallas.
You know where the cameraman was on that shot? He was up on a Ferris wheel to get that. Now we're talking.
Now you stay steady.
You know, you talk about Leon Lett. You know, that last play that he just made was a great play, but he was in one of those zone blitzes where he was dropping out, kind of like a linebacker. So those guys are doing a heck of a lot of things on defense now, those tackles.
First down, Aikman back to throw it. Gets it outside to Emmitt Smith. Emmitt ducked. Took a blow to the head.
Yeah, we always talk about zone defenses, and this is what causes zone. You get a defensive tackle, and he drops out, and he becomes a linebacker. You see, and then you can rush from the other side. You see Leon Lett start to drop back there and becomes a linebacker. So he's back here like a middle linebacker now. He reads that all the way and chases down and makes this dive and this play right here that stops Kent Graham from getting that first down.
2nd and 10. Herschel Walker goes in motion. Emmitt Smith gets a carry. The Cardinals in a blitz. Emmitt cut down by the last tackler. Matt Darby tripped up Emmitt, or he would have broken it.
I tell you, there was a good call by Ernie Zampese. You know, here they are now. Now they're expecting pass, so they're going to get a pass rush, and he hits him on a delay or a draw right to this side. You see, they get in their pass rush, and he just follows Moose Johnston, boom, and he breaks it back to the right side because the pass rushers, it was 2nd and long. They were thinking pass, and so they come rushing up, and they ran right by Emmitt Smith.
Sherman Williams has replaced Emmitt Smith. Aikman back to throw it. Michael Irvin made the catch and took the blow from Enos Williams.
Now that was excellent pass protection because Troy Aikman had about 3 reads before he went out there. And you're going to see, I mean, he's going to start, if we can see it again. This is what pass protection is, because watch Troy Aikman. He's going to look out here to his right, then he's going to look to the middle, then he's going to turn to the right, then he's going to turn all the way to the left, because to throw that way, you have to get your feet in that position. He had his feet ready to throw to the middle, ready to throw to the right, and ready to throw to the left, all within that pass protection.
2nd and 5. Here's Sherman Williams. First down, out of bounds. At about the Cardinal 30. Enos Williams again made the stop. He's had a busy day.
And now they're going back there to work that left side again. You know if they're going to try and take advantage, they're going to try and take advantage of Simeon Rice. And we'll watch Simeon Rice here. And he's been reading and playing these things well today. But it's another draw play. See, they invite him like it's going to be a pass. Simeon Rice really didn't go for it. In fact, he went the other way. He went back too much and let Mark Tuanay get on him and get him going backwards.
On first down, Darrell Johnson, the Moose, over the right side for a couple.
And we talked about Leon Lett, but watch Eric Swan here. And the way he's going against Larry Allen, boom, he takes him on, just takes that left hand and then throws Allen to his right and makes that tackle of Moose. These guys are really strong. And when you can take that and move a guy like Larry Allen, who weighs 330 pounds, with just your left hand and arm, you are a powerful man.
When you get underneath those shoulder pads,
that'll give you power.
Yep. Aikman's pass is complete to Eric Bjornsson, close to first down yardage.
And that's the first catch by a tight end on either team today, I think.
It is.
And this is what you have to do. I mean, you know, Troy Aikman is getting into some of that mixture now and some of that balance between his outside receivers, his tight end. And, of course, the big thing that gets it started is the running game and the offensive line. Any offensive football always goes back to the offensive line.
3rd and 1. Johnston gets the first down, straight ahead. Aikman seems to be finding a little bit of rhythm now.
You know, and he's finding rhythm because his offensive line has given him time to find rhythm. I mean, even on that one that he hit to Michael Irvin, that had to be at least his 3rd read. It could have been his 4th read. But these guys up in front are now taking over control and giving him time. Plus, they're getting a little running game going with Emmitt Smith and then with Sherman Williams.
1st and 10. Just inside the Cardinal 20. Harold Johnston on the move. Fake to Emmett. Pass to Bjornsson to the 10. Close to another first down.
See, once you get that running game going, then you can do things like this. Then you can go the bootleg. And that's exactly what that was, where you fake to the left and bootleg out to the right. You see, he has his fullback here, boom, he fakes this way, he comes out here, then he comes out here, then his tight end goes to the out. But see, what the bootleg does, it holds all those linebackers and linemen, gets him going in one direction, then the quarterback comes out the opposite side.
But you can't do it if you can't run.
No, that's right. Once you get that, then they have to play run and commit to run, then you can do these kinds of things.
And off Emmitt Smith. Emmitt picking his way for a first down, Cowboys.
And we look at his pass distribution. You see that he's thrown 9 out of 16 to his wide receivers. We knew that was going to happen because of Michael Irvin coming back. 2 out of 4 to his tight ends and 5 out of 9 to the running backs. 1st
and goal at the 9. Dallas leading it 3-0 over the Arizona Cardinals. 2 tight ends. Eric Hill made the stop.
Well, now they're going to have to start throwing. Remember last time they were in this area, Pat, 2 balls batted down. Michael Bankston got the first one. Simeon Rice gets this one. And again, that was that 3-step drop, and the Cardinals And the defenses are starting to do that. They're starting to play the drop of the quarterback.
Well, you almost have to, because of the timing. That'll upset the timing.
Well, see, that on that last one, Simeon Rice couldn't have gotten there, but he could do what he did.
Sherman Williams has replaced Emmitt Smith. Aikman to throw. At the 1 is Bjornsson, and taken down there.
Bjornsson's upset because you don't get a lot of passes in this offense if you're Bjornsson. You're not going to get a lot of touchdowns, and then you wonder, how close are you going to get to a touchdown? Now again, he backs out. See, he was going to throw to his left, and he throws it to Bjornsson right there. He's trying to get that one more step to get that touchdown, and he can't do it. So now the Cowboys come up here with 3rd down. Now, you know, they never had a quarterback sneak before, like 3 or 4 weeks ago. They put in a quarterback sneak.
Emmitt Smith. Touchdown. The 100th touchdown of Emmitt Smith's career. And the Cowboys lead it 9-0. Jet will hold Bonio for the extra point. It's 10-0.
Well, they've been working this left side. They get behind Moose Johnston and Big Nate. And I think Emmitt Smith can still do that.
10-0. Youth to play in the 3rd quarter. And Dallas leading Arizona 10-0. The Cardinals have won 2 in a row. But the Cowboys shoot up that 3rd quarter with that long drive. 12 plays. Not much there for Leland McElroy. Cowboy defensive unit has been solid all day long. 10-0. The Cowboys over the Cardinals. Summary is brought to you by Budweiser. Emmitt Smith just scored the 100th touchdown of his career. Arizona, the Cardinals have had 6 drives, punted 6 times. Michael Irvin has 5 catches on the day. First down, Arizona at their own 23. Centers the man on the move. Graham to throw it. Gets it outside to his tight end, Pat Carter. And Carter gets up for first down yardage.
You know, maybe the Cardinals were watching the Cowboys and saying that, you know, Bjornsson on that last drive caught three passes, and the Cowboys hadn't been thrown to the tight end. I think that's the first pass that a Cardinal tight end caught today. This is what I don't understand. There's no way that Leon Lett needs a rest. I think that, you know, they got the rotating thing with defensive linemen. I don't think you put him in the rotation.
Whoa, what a hit. Fred Strickland put a hit on Johnson.
Today is a Fred Strickland game. I mean, he's been putting the hits on Johnson all day. I think Strickland is just keying on Johnson, and Johnson is one of those straight-ahead runners who's going to run straight up and take it right to the hole, not make a lot of moves. And a middle linebacker like Fred Strickland loves a runner like Rashawn Johnson.
He didn't even make it to the hole. Here's Graham back to throw. Going deep. Incomplete. No flag. Rob Moore, the intended receiver. Kevin Smith right with him.
Remember when Larry Brown was playing corner for the Cowboys and Kevin Smith before his Achilles injury? Everyone would always work on Larry Brown and leave Kevin Smith alone.
Yep.
Now Kevin Smith comes back from the Achilles surgery. Deion Sanders is on the other side. Now they leave Deion Sanders alone, and everything they're going to work on to an outside guy is always against poor old Kevin Smith now. But they call him Pup, but I'll guarantee you, he is a competitor, and he doesn't mind it. He likes this. He's one of those guys, come on, bring it on. Bring what you got.
Graham from behind by Broderick Thomas. Three and out again.
That defense has been playing well all day today, and then the offense gets a little thing, and then that fires them up more. But this is a big part of it. You see, there's good coverage out here. There's no place for him to go. Then he has to hold on to the ball. Broderick Thomas was playing defensive right end, came all the way around from the other side.
And that's the end of the third quarter. Score Dallas 10, Arizona nothing. Jeff Eagles high punt fielded by Kelvin Martin. Martin tackled at the 32-yard line of Dallas by McKinnon. That's the 7th punt for the Cardinals. Dallas leads it 10-0.
Welcome
on. And I'll probably miss it again too.
You'll be on the bus. Aikman gets it outside to Herschel Walker.
Yeah, I was talking to Ernie Zampese the other day, and he says we're going to throw a lot and throw a lot all day, and on first down. And with that one, out of the last 15 first downs, they've thrown 12 times. So, you know, instead of just coming out there and running every first down and second and getting in that thing, Ernie's trying to get into the thing where they throw on first down and then come back with your run on second down. I wouldn't be surprised if this play were a run.
The throw again. Pass complete to Eric Bjornsson.
That's not bad. Then I'd throw again because you got another first down.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that Ernie Zampese, and he'll admit this, he always has to guard against is staying with the running game. Because if Ernie were just to call plays away, his mind would want him to call plays. He would throw every down. And he always has to remind himself or have someone remind him, hey, we still got to run. And especially when you have an offensive line like this and a fullback like Moose Johnston and a tailback like Emmitt Smith, who's not in there now.
Sherman Williams giving him a rest. He gets the carry and gets only back to the line of scrimmage. You know, I guess all teams find themselves, particularly with success, getting into a pattern like that where you run it on first down. If that's successful, you run it again. And pretty soon you have to do a scouting job on yourself.
Yeah, and you try and stay away from that because then you get predictable. And in this league, the defenses are so tough that you ever get to a point where you're predictable and they know whether it's run or pass and they can gang up on it, you don't have much of a chance.
And the word gets around. Second down, Cardinals showing blitz. Out of bounds. Out of bounds. Michael Irvin made the catch, but out of bounds.
And Aeneas Williams has been playing Michael Irvin pretty well today. I mean, he's mixing up things. Here he's just running right down the sideline with him. The ball is thrown in there. Michael Irvin's foot is out of bounds. That second foot is out of bounds. I don't know if the first one was or not, but the second one definitely is. Now it's out. Yep. Both of them were out.
Yep.
But Aeneas Williams still had pretty good coverage. And Aeneas Williams was forcing Michael Irvin outside.
Well, Michael Irvin's been working out for 10 days. 3rd and 11. Aikman back to throw it again. Chase, middle screen. Emmitt Smith, they'll have to punt.
You just can't let that. Again, it was a screen, and the screens haven't been working for him today. And it was another case where a defensive lineman just had a free rush on him. Watch Michael Bankston. That time, they didn't get him blocked, and that's what Troy's saying here. He said, hey, you got to block those guys. They just didn't block Bankston at all, and he just gets a free run right at him.
Sorry to say about Michael Irvin as Jet is back to punt, and this doesn't quite turn over for him. Handled by Marcus Dowdell, and maybe he shouldn't have handled it. Jim Swans who always seems to do a pretty good job on special teams. Down to make the stop. 45-yard punt. He lost 2 on the return. 10-0 Dallas. Remains 10-0. The Cowboys leading. 11:53 left to play now.
Let's watch this play here and watch what's happened to Troy Aikman. It's a stunt. Here comes Michael Bankston right up there. And again, it was a screen pass. And Troy Aikman coming off here is really upset because they've been knocking him down all day today. And if he wants to yell at Ernie Zampese, he yells right here at Garrett. And then Garrett has the phone. Jason Garrett does, and he's talking to Ernie Zampese. And Troy Aikman's probably saying he's had enough of that screen pass because that screen pass hasn't worked all day today. And when you saw him yelling there, he was yelling about calls, and I'm sure that the call that he meant was that call of the screen pass or the call of the pass protection that lets guys run free.
I would imagine by the time that screaming gets screened, by the time it makes its way to Ernie Zampese, it's been smoothed out a little bit.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. I mean, Troy Aikman isn't going to yell at Ernie Zampese anyway. Plus he can't because Ernie's upstairs.
Centers blast straight ahead. Right now for McDonald's game break. Let's return to James Brown in our Fox Television Center.
Hey, Pat, here's something you don't see too often. Trent Dilfer back for the pass, and he connects 31 yards to Rob Thomas. Second touchdown toss of the season for Dilfer. Bucks trail 10-7. Back to Pat John.
Graham back to throw it. A lot of time this time. Gets it out to the tight end, Pat Carter. Carter with a little move and a little rumble. Out to about the 48. Another Arizona first down.
You know, if there's anything that this Cowboy defense hasn't done well this year, it's tackle. And there was an example right there. Broderick Thomas in the open field trying to make a tackle. Carter makes a move on him and gets a first down. And their defense has really been playing pretty well. And I think, if there's any weakness, it's probably the speed at one of the linebacker positions and the open field tackling.
Graham, pump fake, intended for Moore, out of bounds, no flag.
They're sure working on pup today, aren't they?
Kevin Smith, the defender.
Yeah, and then you wonder at what point Deion Sanders says, what the heck am I even doing out here?
Well, he doesn't come to the huddle.
Yeah, he doesn't even go in on the field. And that after a while, if they're not going to work on him, he doesn't even have to go play defense anymore.
Right.
But I don't know that the Cardinals know that. Now, if Deion isn't there,
Alundis Bryce.
Yeah, I would go and say, let's work on Alundis Bryce. I mean, we've already proven all day that we can't do it on Kevin Smith. And let's get away from him now that Deion Sanders isn't in there.
They've got the 2 wide receivers over there. Larry Centers stretches across the 45 to Dallas 45.
The Cowboys have done a good job on Larry Centers because we talked about before the game how LaShawn Johnson had run so well in the 2 games they stopped that, and how Larry Centers last year caught over 100 passes, more than any running back in the history of the game. Today he only has 4 catches for 17 yards.
That humongous day he was going to have is so far just got the hue.
Got the H.
4 wide receivers. Graham back to throw. Here comes the pressure. The pass complete to Centers. Good throw by Graham under pressure. Brock Marion, the defender.
Ken Graham has impressed me a few times on being able to do this. That sometimes you have an extra guy and the quarterback has to take the extra guy. I mean, the guy comes free and the quarterback just has to take him, and that's what Kent Graham did, and still get rid of the ball. See, here he is, and it helps being in shotgun because now he's already 5 yards back, so when he takes that 3-step drop, he's now 8 or 9 yards away from that line of scrimmage.
First and 10 Arizona. 8:45 left to play. Graham back to throw it again. Centers made the catch.
I think what the Cardinals ought to think of here, because they have plenty of time. They have all their timeouts left, over 8 minutes here. They know they need 2 scores. They want to get in position. They're very close to being in position for a field goal now. You want to assure that, then go for the touchdown. If you don't get that, then kick the field goal on 4th down, and then hope to get your score the next time you get it.
2nd down at the 30. No blitz. The draw play. Johnson gets very little.
I think they have Johnson pretty well done. I think that that's not going to work. Running LaShawn Johnson in between the tackles is just running him right into a collision. I mean, they've tried to do it with straight ahead plays. They've tried to do it with draw plays. They've tried to do it every way, and the result has been the same about every time. Gained about a yard.
He's wound up most of the time going in the other direction. 14 carries, 21 yards, 4 wide receivers. Flag on the play.
Ooh, don't hit him.
Leon Lett patted Kent Graham on the head. Graham's almost as big as Leon Lett.
Still 3rd down.
But you know that when a guy jumps and the official blows the whistle, that the defensive guy doesn't get a free shot at him. Now, Leon Lett was all ready to take it.
Yep.
He heard that whistle, but even a little bump from Leon Lett's 295 pounds will still jolt a 245-pound Kent Graham. You see that? I mean, his body kind of went whoop.
Leon Lett gets better and better. How much better he can get. Here comes a blitz, and Graham has the ball deflected. And the pass is incomplete. It hit the official in the head. And it hurt.
And he got the pressure again from Leon Lett. And the umpire is the guy that gets hit. Now, the umpire is the guy right here. The pressure from Leon Lett comes right here on Kent Graham. Now, he's back in the shotgun, but you see Lett come through here, and that umpire was just standing right in the way. The umpire, as he sees pass, he's the guy behind the defensive line. He should move up to the line, and that's what Larry Centers is saying. You shouldn't have even been in that position.
Nothing you can do about it.
Move up.
Nothing. Ferris wheel at the Texas State Fair. That's the biggest, the highest in the Western Hemisphere. 20 stories high.
You can't beat a good Ferris wheel at a state fair.
On 4th down, the Cardinals are going for it. Incomplete, a flag on the play. Kevin Smith. Flags came flying.
You know, that 3rd down play, that would have been a completion to Larry Centers, but it hit the umpire, Ed Kukart, who was moving up.
Automatic 1st down.
Let's watch that 3rd down play again, and you're going to see that ball hit the umpire right there, right in the head. The ball was going for Larry Centers. He was moving up. Now watch the right hand here of Kevin Smith. You see the right hand was on Moore's jersey. Well, yeah, it was on there twice. I mean, he grabbed it the first time, then he grabbed it the second time in the back, then he grabbed it in the front. So that was a trifecta there on Kevin Smith.
A 19-yard penalty and a 1st down for the Cardinals as Graham sends Centers in motion, and he's back to throw it. Kent Graham is wrestled to the ground by Tony Tolbert.
Ken Graham should know that he can't hold the ball that long. That if something's not open when you get down in this position, you don't take the sack, you throw the ball away. Here's Tony Tolbert, but Kent Graham, you know, he had enough time to throw this ball away. I mean, he has to look now, and you pump, now get rid of the ball. I mean, if you hold it that long, I'll guarantee you that's going to happen to you.
That's the 7th sack this season for Tolbert, who is having an outstanding year. Coming off operation on both knees. Here's Graham. Throws behind the intended receiver, who is Pat Carter, the tight end.
Now the Cardinals have about 3rd and 15, and if they don't get a 1st down here, they have to kick the field goal here. Last time they went on 4th down because they probably felt they were out of field goal range. They're in field goal range now. They can't take a sack. They can't take a penalty to knock them out. They have to guarantee that they have that. Now they have to go again. They got 3rd and more than 15 here. They got 3rd and 17. So they have to have a pass play that goes more than 18 yards, or they're going to have to kick a field goal.
4 wide receivers. Graham back to throw. Can't take a sack. He had to. Again, it was Tony Tolbert. 2 for Tolbert, his 8th of the year, 2 in a row.
And that play by Tony Tolbert made a 48-yard field goal out of this. This is the thing that Ken Graham couldn't do. He's in the shotgun. Here's Tolbert. He's going against Joe Wolf there. He just takes Wolf, and then when Graham starts to step up, Tolbert is going underneath Wolf.
So Davis will try for the field goal with Jim Fiegels holding Greg Davis from 49 yards out. Going to get there. And it's good. And Arizona is on the scoreboard for the first time. 5:49 left to play. 10-3. The Cowboys lead. Exit the fairground. Let's see what he has to say. Speak.
Howdy, Pat. Howdy, John. This is Big Tex. Welcome to Big D and the State Fair.
I wonder if he's ever done play-by-play.
No, Big Tex was also saying that if the Cowboys want to get back into things, they have to be able to run the ball better, he says.
Brock Marion knocked out of bounds, and a flag on the play. This is what the Arizona Cardinals did not need.
No, and they'd been playing so solidly all day. I mean, they hadn't had the turnovers. They hadn't had any stupid penalties. They've been playing a very smart, solid game until this point right here.
Late hit out of bounds, number 5. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
The kicker.
And who would have thought? I mean, a kicker never does these kinds of things. I mean, and that wasn't that's a bad penalty.
Yeah, that's bad.
He's just going to the bench. I mean, that's Greg Davis. That was. I mean, the coach come up and slapped him, didn't he? Huh? You can't. Oh no,
that's the illegal hit.
No, yeah. I mean, the coach hit Davis harder than he hit the guy. That's a bad call. He was just trying to get off to the bench. What are you talking about?
Cowboys lead 10-3. Back at Texas Stadium, Pat Summerall with John Madden. 10-3. The Cowboys lead the Cardinals with 5:37 left to play. Bjornsson, the motion man. Flag on the play. While we're waiting, let's look at that last penalty on the kicker again.
Well, Greg Davis does give Brock Marion a little bump right there. But I mean, it was a stupid thing for him to do, but it wasn't worth the penalty.
Didn't hurt him.
Then watch the coach come up and grab him. That's Carl Mock, I think. He's grabbing that jersey. He's ready to take him on.
The penalty was against the Cowboys, so they moved them back 5.
And he's wearing earplugs too, so he can't hear anything. That's the. Well, I don't think he even knew that he was yelled at yet.
Catch by Bjornsson. First down, Dallas. Darby with a hit.
One thing about Troy Aikman, he's a little hard-headed, and if he doesn't think that a receiver's running the right pattern, he's not going to throw it to him or look at him. But conversely, when a guy does do the right thing and does know where he's supposed to be and what he's supposed to be doing, then he'll start to go to him. And you can get the feeling that within this game, he's getting confidence in Eric Bjornsson.
First down, Cowboys. Smith stopped by Jameer Miller.
For so many years, Troy Aikman had Jay Novacek, and that was kind of always his security blanket. In fact, I remember one time he told us when Jay Novacek retires, he's going to retire, and looks like Jay Novacek right there could possibly be retired. There's a possibility that you know, he may never play football again because of a bad back. But I think that Troy Aikman really loved Jay Novacek as a player and liked the position of the tight end too. So part of Bjornsson is doing is taking Jay Novacek, and he's a lot like Jay Novacek.
Bjornsson has 5 catches. This is Emmitt Smith again. And Emmitt inside the 25. Brought down by the safety man, Alexander.
See, and these are some of the things that you have to do. Here's Emmitt Smith here. He's always going to get a lead coming into this side. This has been the side that the Cowboys have been running on all day today. And again, Moose Johnston is up there in the lead position. Boom! He gets that good lead block there. Emmitt Smith gets right beyond him and gets a little burst right as he gets to Moose Johnston.
Nobody blocks that play better than Darrell Johnson. Nobody.
No, and he mixes them up. I mean, he just doesn't do one kind of block. He has about 5 different kinds of blocks he uses.
Smith just went over 100 yards. Johnston the catch.
Now you can see that on more than 15-yard rushes, the first 5 games, Emmitt Smith only had 2. And today he's had 3. Part of it is Emmitt Smith feeling better. Part of it is the offensive line. And another big part is Moose Johnston.
Cardinals call a timeout. 3:12 left to play. On a Cardinal.
And then the other Cardinals playing tonight. Yep. And we talked about Tony La Russa. I'll tell you the other guy that's been a big surprise to me is Dennis Eckersley. You know, when he played out there for Oakland a few years ago, everyone thought that he may be done.
Ron Gant had the big night last night. Emmitt Smith taken down in the backfield by Brent Alexander. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited. Alexander, who came up to make that hit.
You always talk about the 8th man up, you know, and they have the 8 men up right there, all on the line of scrimmage. Brent Alexander is the 8th man. He's the free safety. You see, he hit that hole, then he got up and decided that maybe things weren't as good as he thought they were initially. It was a delayed reaction to whatever it was. Remember, Brent Alexander he was a starting corner for this team early in the season, and then they moved him to free safety. Now he's a starting free safety. Then you say, what was he doing up there in the line of scrimmage? Well, you talk about running, you know, 8 man in a box, 8-man front. That safety, when he comes up, becomes the 8th man.
3rd and long. Aikman quickly. Deion Sanders. Close to it. Close to the first.
That may be a first. You know, when Deion Sanders was moved to wide receiver, they said that that's one pattern that he won't run, which is a slant right up here and just coming in here, that he won't come into the inside where all that crowd is. Well, I'll tell you, he did that time, that he knew what to do with it. He knew how to avoid and evade. Avoid and evade.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He knew how to get down.
Yeah, I mean, get away from the collision. Deion Sanders calls those, when you avoid or evade a collision, he calls that a business decision.
Business decision. Here's Emmitt Smith again. His second of the day. Now that's a good drive when it had to come.
And to me, that's Cowboy football. You talk about wide receivers and Troy Aikman and throwing, but when you can get balance, that's what they need, and mixture, and you can run the ball, and the offensive line can block like that, that's the way Cowboys play offensive football.
Smith has 21 carries, 112 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That sounds more like an Emmitt Smith kind of day.
And they blocked for him today. And I think that anytime you talk about the blocking, you have to include Darrell Johnston along with that offensive line.
Really? 17-3 as Emmitt slashes his way into the end zone. John Madden. Dallas 17-3 over the Arizona Cardinals. Tonight here on Fox, the Braves and the Cardinals. Don't forget, Championship Series Game 4.
Remember when the St. Louis Cardinals, when these Cardinals were in St. Louis, and you always had to say, you know, like today, you have the St. Louis football Cardinals playing in the afternoon, and then this evening you'll see the St. Louis baseball Cardinals. You don't have to say that stuff anymore.
Leland McElroy at the 6th.
He was in the base. You hear him growl?
Yeah.
The base turned into an animal down there.
He's been at it a long time.
Been an animal a long time.
17-3.
We've got to move fast, Kurt.
The owner of the Cowboys on the left, talking with Nate Newton, who's had an outstanding game. Jerry Jones.
Yeah, Jerry Jones, today is his birthday. So this is part of his birthday present. Makes them all a lot better when you win.
Graham gets it to center. Centers to the 30.
You know, talking about birthdays, the guy that he was talking to there was Nate Newton, and Nate had a birthday party out here at Texas Stadium for his son Trey the other night. And Nate was a quarterback, and he said he was using that West Coast offense, spreading it around to all the kids.
And got rid of it quickly. Graham, incomplete. There is Trey.
Yeah, there's Trey Newton right there, and again, his birthday was the other day, and here's his dad Nate. And
Hi.
Happy birthday. But anyway, he had all these kids, and one kid was crying and said Nate didn't throw the ball, so Nate started throwing the ball, and then Trey wanted the ball more, and he said, no, it's your birthday, and Trey won a race, and everyone got excited, and Nate says they wore him out here for an hour and a half.
Well, Nate doesn't throw the ball a lot.
No, but he says that he was going to use it. He told the kids, West Coast offense, spread it out, throw short passes, and let you run with it. That was Nate out there at quarterback.
You think Nate can throw it? Can he throw it deep, you think?
No, he's a left-handed quarterback. No, Nate, if you got shoulders like that, you know, where you're beating down and, you know, and hitting and all that stuff, you just throw little dinks. So he just kind of dinked those balls to the kids and let them run with them. But how would that be to be a kid like Trey Newton? You're down there on the sideline today, and you know that you have your birthday party here at the stadium, and you invite all your friends, and they get to come to get out here and play in the real field.
I can't imagine how it would be.
That'd be great.
And run the West Coast offense?
Well, yeah, and have your dad, yeah.
Holmgren offense is what
yeah. Just spread it out, let every kid catch it, every kid. That's kind of what the Cowboys got to a little here in the second half, where they started spreading the ball around. You know, got the tight end more involved, even threw a few to Darrell Johnston, got Emmett Smith running. They started spraying that old pigskin around a little.
Started to take it to Bjornson. Here's Graham. The quarterback draw gets them a first down with 1 minute and 8 seconds left to play. Today's game is being produced by Bob Stinner and directed by Sandy Grossman. Technical producer is Bob Muller. Here's Graham back to throw. Pass is intercepted by Kevin Smith.
That was a great interception. That was a great catch by Kevin Smith. They've been working on him all day. And it's funny that they didn't go away when they saw Deion Sanders wasn't playing anymore, but their whole game plan was throw the ball to the wide receivers to the side of Kevin Smith. I don't think they've completed one to a wide receiver since the second quarter.
Dallas' defense has at least 1 interception in the last 12 games.
Watch his catch by Kevin Smith. I mean, you know, I mean the coverage was great and the position and all those things, but watch how he has to dive for that ball, extend himself, and catch it with both hands and not drop it when the ball hits the ground. But you see, the reason that took a little off, it was again Leon Lett was in Kent Graham's face, so he couldn't step and get everything into that one. But that was still a great interception by Kevin Smith.
17-3, the Cowboys taking their time as they lead it. The clock still running.
I think the biggest thing, all the talk was about Michael Irvin, but to me the biggest thing was getting their running game going and their offensive line looking like they're starting to get healthy, getting the ball to Bjornsson and get that pass protection down. And they started in the second half, to look like the old Cowboys.
The last drive when they were up 10-3 and they took it, and Emmett finished it off with his second touchdown of the day. That looked like what we've seen happen in recent years.
Yeah, because Emmett was running with the ball, Johnston was blocking, the offensive line was blocking. He was throwing the ball to his tight ends, to his wide receivers. And then, of course, the defense has been playing super.
All right, John, for John Madden, Pat Summerall from Texas Stadium, where the final score is Dallas 17. The Arizona Cardinals 3. Coming up, James Brown, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, and Ronnie Lott will be along from the Fox Television Center with the NASDAQ post-game report right after these messages.